Good morning and welcome to Homepage, a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM, 95.5, 92.5, and 107.9. I'm Kathy Dugan, and my guest this morning is Tom Butler. Tom is the District Homeless Liaison for Marion County Public Schools, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me exactly what that means.
I am the person that the school contacts when they have homeless family or a homeless student that comes into the district, and I provide those services for the student and their families.
Now, a lot of people don't know, and I haven't really checked recently, but I know it a lot. There are a lot of homeless and needy students in our school system.
Yes. Currently, we have over 2,188 children as of this date, and there could be anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 needy children in our district.
It floors me that there's that many kids, especially the kids that are homeless.
Yes.
I mean, this is supposed to be the best time of your life, going to school, enjoying yourself. You shouldn't be worrying about your next meal, where your clothing is coming from.
Yes.
And you help with that. Now, how do people get involved? How do they get a hold of you to let you know?
Well, they can contact our district by calling me directly at 352-671-6847. We take monetary donations, we take donations of clothing, and we also take donations of school supplies and things that a student would need for the school.
Now, families, when they're involved in this, and of course, you know, the kids want to kind of keep it quiet. It's something they don't want to talk about being homeless. Do those families come to you, or is it something that just kind of goes through the grapevine until it gets to you?
Well, the school identifies them first.
Okay.
And then we have an enrollment form that the family fills out, and then that particular enrollment identifies their children and their particular needs at that particular time. And that information is sent over to our office, and then that's when we get started working with that particular student or family.
And what's the process of that? What do you do?
Well, I have two other people that work with me right now, Ms. Wanda Shelton and Adrian Heath. And our clothing that we purchase, we normally purchase new clothing, is over at the Westport Logistics Program. And the students are learning how to do the logistics part of the curriculum, and they're the ones that we send our orders over to get the clothing for the children, the clothing, the shoes, the coats, anything that a child would need to attend school.
So you have students involved in helping the other students as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. So that we can have more of you to help other kids.
That's correct.
That's fantastic. I love that. And that's at Westport.
Yes, Westport High School.
Do you do fundraisers?
Every year we have a golf tournament that's spearheaded by Community Bank and Trust. And then we also get donations from churches, individuals in the communities, and different businesses that will provide donations to our program throughout the year.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then they're distributed to the kids throughout the schools.
Yes.
Now, it's not just, when you think of that, a lot of people are like, well, they need clothing, they need school supplies, but it's not just that. They also need things like personal items.
Yes, we provide personal hygiene items. We even provide food to families that are living in hotels.
Oh, my gosh.
And anytime they need, and they're in between the time of getting food assistance, and we go and provide the food for them wherever they are. So.
Now, with holidays coming up, do you guys have anything that's going to be going on?
Yes, we are currently in the planning process to start our angel tree. We're going to have an angel tree set up at the district main office, and we're going to also have an angel tree at MTI. Last year, we provided Christmas presents and clothing and shoes to over 400 homeless and needy children.
Angel Tree is a wonderful thing. We've been involved with that before, and it's just fantastic. It's just mind-blowing that there's that many kids, and a lot of them you wouldn't even know because of all the work that you do with them.
Yes. They look like a normal kid.
Sure.
A lot of times, they may be embarrassed, but it's not their fault.
Right.
We're going to help you. Whatever you need, whatever that child needs, we're going to try to provide that to them.
And as the kids say, you're going to keep it on the down low on top of it.
Yes, yes.
Because I know that's something that kids are so concerned with. I mean, I've got a 19-year-old son. Everything's about what you're wearing, who you're wearing,
Yes.
And for a child to be going to school and having other people look at them like, oh, well, where'd you get that? What's that? It's embarrassing for them. So what you're doing is helping normalize things for them. At least they have one place they can come to that's completely normal.
That's correct. And that's why, our philosophy is that, we have donations that come in, and a lot of times we buy new clothing for these children. so that they look like any other child going to school.
With the donations, they can come by the district office to drop off?
Yes, they can come by the district office, or they can mail the donations into us. They make the checks payable to the Homeless Needy Children Program, and they can mail those donations into 1614 East Fort King Street, Ocala, Florida, 34471. Make sure you make those checks out to the Homeless Needy Children Program.
That's fantastic. So, of course, you take cash, you take money.
Yes.
Can they drop off non-perishables or?
No, we don't take non-perishable food items. What we do is we go out to Publix and we purchase the food for the families. So,
even better, yeah.
Yes.
Now, I know that you guys have worked with Publix in the past. School Tools for Cool Kids you've done,
Yes.
and the bags for them, which is a wonderful thing. Can you tell me a little more about that?
They collect school supplies at the beginning of the school year for that program. And we also had Staples, who were very instrumental to us getting school supplies donated to them at both of their stores in Ocala.
We have a lot of great people in our community. I know so many people want to help with what's going on. For the younger kids, it's probably not as difficult as it is once you get into high school level. Once you're in high school level, what do you do to help those kids?
A lot of times, a high school kid is, we try to get them to see that, hey, we want you to finish school. We want you to, if you're looking at going on to college or going on to a trade school or something like that, we want them to feel comfortable that they can come to us and we can provide things that they may need for high school. We pay for graduation gowns. We pay fees for their graduation. Matter of fact, we fill out a form for their financial aid if they're going to college, which that form indicates that they're homeless and they'll get a year's tuition free at a local college.
I did not know that.
Yes, so we do that to assist them with their needs if they're going on to college.
Does that also count like toward trade school? You help them with trade schools or whatever they need to do?
Yes, anytime they want to receive financial aid, we write the letter stating that they were homeless during that time period, and then the financial aid officer at that particular school will initiate them to have their tuition paid. So
we know about the basics that kids need, but there's also things like grad night, prom, things like that. Do you guys help with that at all?
Yes, we have several programs that will assist with getting the tux for the guys and the gowns for the females, and we'll pay for those type of expenses if we find a kid that's homeless and in need of that type of thing, participate in that program.
Oh, that's wonderful, because a lot of times all you think about is, well, we're helping them with school supplies, we're getting them hygiene products, we're getting them clothes for school, but the whole school experience is part of that. So, I was curious. I didn't know if you helped out with that type of thing, which is fantastic.
That's correct.
So how did you get involved in doing this? What made you say, I want to help these children?
Well, I've been a social worker for over 35 years now. So when I came to the district 12 years ago, I was a school social worker. And then the past 3 years, I had the opportunity to work with Miss McGuire for 1 year, and then that's when I took over as the homeless liaison for the district.
And Suzanne McGuire had been there in that position for about 18 years.
Yes.
And we'd worked with her in the past. That's how I know a little bit about what you do, but you do so much more for the schools. Now, with the needy children, you also help them out.
Yes. We also provide clothing, shoes, personal hygiene, anything that kid would need to attend school. The inclement weather is going to be upon us in about another few weeks. We provide coats. Last year, we gave out over 400 coats to the homeless and needy children in our district. There are a number of things that we provide for them. And the unique thing about it, with working with Westport and the logistics program, if a child today wants something like clothing, shoes, we have a 24-hour period of time in which we can get that item to them.
Really?
If they request today, tomorrow they'll have that item in their hand.
Wow.
During inclement weather, they come into the school. If they don't have a coat, the school contacts my office. And that day, before they get on that bus or get ready to go home, we'll have that coat to that child that same day.
Wow, that's fantastic. I want to know a little bit more about this logistics program that you're talking about and the kids that are involved in it.
Well, the logistics program at Westport this is their second year, and they have Bryant Creary over there, he's the one that's the teacher for the logistics program, and they have students that are coming in to that logistics program to learn the logistics process.
Okay.
And therefore, they're taught a curriculum, and they also provide packing our requests for our children and our students. We go over and pick it up once they package all that together, and then we get it out to the child.
Is this a class or is it a club? How does that work? Is that like
It's actually a curriculum and a class.
Okay.
Okay. That student can go to the Westport Logistics Program, and if they're interested in eventually, when they graduate from high school, getting into logistics, that's the course that they need to take.
Oh, wow. That is so neat. And while they're doing it, they're getting a grade and they're helping their fellow students and maybe learning a little something more about
That's right.
those fellows.
And they get the hands-on training by providing that service for our homeless and needy program.
Do they know who those students are, or is it kept kind of anonymous?
Yes, they know. They've come down to see where we are and how we operate it, and they see the importance of what they do as students, as well as learning in the classroom and learning in the process of putting our orders together for our homeless children.
That is incredible. Now, do you see that program expanding to other schools, or are you going to keep the hub just at Westport?
Well, Lake Ware has a logistics program also, and they work with the teacher's store by putting their products together. So we have 2 schools in the district now that has the logistics program operating for the students.
The teacher store, that's like the school supplies that the teachers actually need for the classroom.
That's correct.
We know how expensive that can be.
That is correct.
Oh,
yes.
wow. That's incredible. And those come from donations as well every year.
Yes.
Okay. So whether it's monetary donations or you want to donate school supplies,
That's correct.
The big thing that I keep stressing is hygiene, because that's something that people forget so much. They're like, well, we donated clothes, we donated shoes, we donated money, we donated this. The hygiene products, and it's all kinds of, I mean, they're shaving in high school. The boys are shaving, the girls are shaving their legs, shaving cream, toothpaste, toothbrush, that they just don't have, that we all take for granted.
And you know, the unique thing about the hygiene products, we have several churches and several organizations that put together a package of the different items in a package, and they present those items to us, or we pick them up from their organizations. We have at least 3 or 4 organizations that provide that type of service for us. They package the hygiene products, and all we have to do is we give them to the school, and the school just gives them that one pack, and it has everything they need in that package.
That's perfect. That is so perfect. They make it discreet and make it simple for them, because their focus should be on their education.
That's correct.
And on having, and having fun in school.
Yes.
Those are the best memories of your life. And, you know, you don't want to remember them sadly. So do you think there are probably more homeless or needy kids that just aren't coming forward?
Yes, there probably are, and they have not been identified. A lot of times we do find a homeless family that has not been identified. You know, we try to ease their mind about the process and tell them, you know, these are some of the benefits you have with the school system because you are homeless.
Yeah.
You know, there's free breakfast, free lunch for the student and so forth. And then the things that they may need in reference to being successful in school, we're going to provide that for the students.
Absolutely. I mean, there's absolutely no reason for the kids to at least have breakfast and lunch every day that they're in school. And I know you have summer programs as well where you feed the children.
Yes.
So that's also very helpful. If there's a family that truly is home, I mean, they don't have anywhere to live. I mean, how do you work with that?
Well, we have the community resources that we can call and try to find a place for them to stay until we can get them in a better situation. We have organizations that will pay for hotel fees for a week. We have organizations that will house them, you know, depending on their situation. So there are various organizations in Marion County that will assist us. We get together and we talk about that through Children's Alliance and Marion County Homeless Council, which we can actually use their resources to actually help us to help our students and our families. The important part is, you know, Christmas is coming up, Thanksgiving is coming up. We have some churches that are donating food baskets for us, and then we identify those families through our schools. We deliver those meals to them prior to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's helpful for us. And, you know, the donations, they come in, which is a big plus because we're able to go out and buy the monetary things that they may need, the clothing, the shoes, and things of that nature.
Tell me a little bit more about Angel Tree. I'm a little familiar with it, but tell everybody how Angel Tree works and how they can become a part of that.
Well, with the trees being down at the district main office and at MTI, our departments in the school system, the employees may come by the tree and pull one of the angels off the tree, and it actually has the size, the name of the child, and what their Christmas wish is for. And they provide that to us, and then they bring that in, and then we get it to the family.
You're adopting the family, basically.
Yes.
And you're providing their Christmas gifts and maybe their meal.
That's correct.
And you know specifically if this is a boy or a girl child or age. Oh, that's so nice.
And the sizes are on that angel, so therefore they can go shopping for that student or that child. And, a lot of people that have done it, they're very excited about doing it, especially if they don't have any kids at home anymore and their kids are adults. And like my wife, we grab a couple angels, and she just enjoys going out to the outlets and getting the clothing and the different things that are on that angel for that child.
Part of it is that you're not just helping these children feel good. You're going to feel good doing this. We've done that before as well.
Yes.
And it's just a good thing to do. It's just something that's going to help us, help our community. And that's the biggest thing about this is it's the community. You know, how people say, oh, it takes a village. It really does take a village in this case.
That's correct. Yes.
And we are that village for these children. Doesn't matter what they need. You can help provide that for them.
Yes.
Wow. Tell me a little bit more about your background.
Well, like I said, I've been in social work. I've been a social worker for about 35 years. I'm prior Navy. Prior veteran. I went into social work while I was in the Navy, and when I left the Navy, that's when I went on and got my master's in social work, and I started the process. Started out in working with juveniles in the court system first, and then I went into private practice for a period of time. I owned a group home for about 5 years, working with juveniles, and then finally, my last part of my career, I came to Marion County to be a school social worker, so it's been a rewarding experience.
I bet it has. What inspired you to do this?
I don't know. Coming out of high school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Basically, and that's why I joined the Navy. And the Navy had a program in which we provided services to active duty military families and their children. So I got involved with that program, and then that's when I really got interested in social work. So.
That's kind of a natural progression. You were already working with kids. And
yes.
Can you think of any particular situation that was, I don't know, that really stands out in your mind? Somebody you've helped, somebody who really needed that help?
Well, a lot of times we have situations in which grandmothers take in grandchildren, and that really pulls at my heart because here this person has retired, and all of a sudden they get 3 or 4 children that come to live with them, and then it's kind of hard. It's a hardship on them, and that's when the school identifies those individuals, and those children are considered to be homeless because sometimes they've been dropped off by parents. Parents kept going. So when they call and tell me that there's this grandmother that have taken care of these kids, that's when I go into action because I immediately get all the things that grandparent needs, and I'll get it out there that day because I'll let them know if you need anything, you call me personally, so because I know the sacrifice that they're making to take care of those children.
Oh, absolutely. And we see that so much more.
Yes.
And it's just sad because, again, there's somebody who's already raised their children.
Yes.
They've earned that retirement.
That's right.
And you're starting all over again. Some of them raising them from babies.
That's correct. That's right.
And so they're just raising a child all over again. And these are people, those people have the biggest hearts.
Yes.
I swear, just the biggest hearts, and they really need the help. I think maybe the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, we connect them to the different resources in the community that will assist them, because they have organizations, grandparents raising their grandchildren, so they can get involved with those organizations so that they can get the things that the resources in the community, and they can connect with those resources.
What kind of resources do you have that maybe helps prevent this? Maybe something, these kids are coming in and they need things. Are they also learning from all of this how to not end up in that situation permanently?
Well, what we try to do is connect them to the different groups that will assist them in providing counseling, different services for them. So, a lot of times the kids are traumatized behind the fact that the parents might have left them there, or, there's a situation with the parents, and there's a lot of trauma behind it. So we try to connect them to counseling so that they can kind of deal with that. We try to connect them with other activities that the children can get involved with, so that can actually help them.
Now, speaking of activities, what if you have a student who is interested in playing football or being a cheerleader and can't afford that, but would love to be part of that?
We'll try to find someone that would donate the fees to pay for that for that child.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
That's fantastic to get them involved in that, something they
Yes.
can focus on.
Yes.
Do you also help with tutors or anything that they need?
Yes, the school, matter of fact, right now we've just received the grant that will provide tutoring for our homeless children. So that we have the certified teachers that will provide an hour and a half of tutoring after school for that particular child. Also, we provide the transportation for them to get back home. So,
That's fantastic. Because, I mean, you want to basically nip it in the bud.
yes.
You want to, you've identified the problem. You can help with what they have going on now, but how do we stop this from becoming a cycle with these kids?
Right.
Because it happens sometimes. They fall into that. That's what they see growing up.
Yes.
But when they come to you, you're able to help them find other outlets and other, not just the help, but something to focus on for a future.
Right.
Wow.
And the important thing is that when they get to school, then they'll get the help that they need as far as making sure that they have regular attendance and that they get their peers will be there for them, and the teachers and the school staff will be able to make them feel comfortable, and they won't have to worry about the fact that they're homeless, because there are situations in which we've identified parents and their children living in their cars.
Oh, my goodness.
And just recently, there was a family living in their car, staying behind one of the local Walmarts.
Oh, my gosh.
And we were able to help and assist that particular family.
Did somebody come to you about it? Or did you
Yes,
just
somebody. And I connected with them, and I was able to get them into one of the shelters.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because that's not safe either.
No, it's not.
No, you've got your kids in there, and I know the parents are just doing the best they can at that point. But that's no way for a child to live or to have memories of that.
Yes, that's right.
Creating the good memories with your help, and whether it's a parent or a child, a neighbor, maybe a family member, they can contact you. Give me that number again.
That number is 352-671-6847.
And you can contact Mr. Butler, and he can help, whether it's you or your family member or a neighbor, a friend, somebody you saw, like the people that were living behind Walmart in the car.
That's correct.
That's just so sad.
Yeah.
And these kids are all different ages. I mean, from pre-K all the way through high school.
That's correct.
Different needs. Do you provide a list on the school's websites at all for anything?
Well, we have a list. A lot of the organizations will call us and say to us what is most needed. So we have a list of items that we most need, and that's the list that we actually put out. And we provide things for infants, because we run into families that have infant children, and we have organizations, we have churches, we have women's clubs that do handmade items for infants. And they donate to our program, and we get those out to those individuals who need those type of the clothing for their infants.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, there are some high school students that are parents themselves.
That's correct.
We still see that happening.
Yes, and, we have the YPP program, Young Parent Program, at MTI, where we're located. So we provide things to that program for the mothers that attend that program.
Okay, so with the YPP program,
yes,
how do you get involved in that? I mean, you're a young mom. I mean, you get to bring the baby with you.
Yes, and they take care of the baby right there, and I get to go by and wave at the kids, and some of the kids know me because I see them every day, and they have a very good staff of people over there that take care of their children while they're in school at MTI. And we provide Pampers, we provide clothing for those children, anything that young mother may need, we're going to provide it for them at that program.
Wow, that's fantastic, because I know that still goes on. I mean, my son's not out of school that long, and he's got friends who had children when they were in high school. So that's good to know that there's that kind of help. What other special programs do you work with?
There's a program in the school of, especially with school uniforms. Some schools have school uniforms.
They do.
We purchase uniforms for the kids that can't afford them.
Oh, that's fantastic as well.
And they're able to give those children a uniform so that they can attend school.
Wow.
So, yes.
That's right. I forgot. There are some schools with uniforms now.
That's right.
Probably makes it so much easier for the kids. I mean, thinking back when we were kids, it's like, we don't want uniforms. But now it just kind of makes it easier.
It's a lot easier, right?
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about who they're wearing, so to speak. So,
and, during the summer, during the month of July, we have our program that collects the school supplies at the Walmarts. We have certain Walmarts that we collect school supplies that are donated from the patrons that are coming out of the Walmart to donate to us. And that's the name of that program is the Bus Brigade.
Ooh.
Supply Their Success. So every July, we're out at one of the local Walmarts those 4 weekends. And also we have the Back to School Bash at the mall, at Paddock Mall, every year. And we collect school supplies then. So
that is fantastic. But they can donate at any time. They're always needed. And especially the things that you don't think about that are taken for granted, like the personal items. Underwear.
Yes.
Underwear. You don't
correct.
think about that. You're like, I'm getting clothes. But you don't think at the time, oh, yeah, you need the underclothes too.
Yes, socks and shoes, yes.
Think about what your children need on a daily basis. These children need it as well. They just don't have the resource from their families at the time. And that's why we have Mr. Butler, who is our homeless liaison, helping them so much.
And, Superintendent Dr. Mayer, she's been behind our program to make sure we provide needed items for our homeless children, our students. I'll get a call from a school sometime and a kid has a pair of shoes on that are too big or too small. We immediately go out to that school with a new pair of shoes for that kid so that kid can go home with a new pair of shoes.
I like the urgency at which you do this because, when you're a kid, everything is right now.
That's
right
correct.
This second.
That's
and
right.
you make it happen pretty much right this second.
Yes. I have a wonderful staff. They stay right up on top of things. Mr. Heath and Wanda Shelton, she's the backbone of the program. I mean, she knows everything. If I need to know something, I go through Wanda Shelton. She's the person. Yes.
Aren't they great people to have?
Yes.
And she probably anticipates what you need before you even know.
All the time.
Wow.
All the time. I call her the boss. So.
She sounds like a neat lady.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, you all do a fantastic, fantastic job with what you do. And we appreciate so much everything that you do for the community. Come on, people. Step it up. We've got the holidays coming.
Yes.
These kids need your help. They need monetary items. They need donations. And you can get in touch. One more time, that number.
That number is 352-671-6847.
And that's Mr. Butler. He is the District Homeless Liaison for Marion County Public Schools. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
My guest today has been Mr. Tom Butler, the District Homeless Liaison from Marion County Public Schools. And thank you so much once again for being on, Mr. Butler. The Homeless Children's Liaison is in the Social Work Services Department, and the liaison actually works directly with school and district staff in identifying children under the Stewart v. McKinney-Vento Act definition of homeless children and youth. Now, the McKinney-Vento Act defines a homeless child as one who lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, sharing the housing of other persons due to the loss of housing, economic hardship, or a similar reason, doubled up, living in motels, hotels, FEMA trailers, trailer parks, or camping grounds due to lack of alternate accommodations, living in emergency or transitional shelters, abandoned in hospitals, awaiting foster care placement, having a primary nighttime residence that's not designed for or ordinarily used as a regular sleeping accommodation for human beings, living in cars, parks, public spaces, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, bus or train stations, or similar settings. And migratory children may qualify as homeless for the purpose of this definition if the children are living in any of the circumstances described. Once that student is identified, Mr. Butler may provide that child with support in the form of school supplies, clothing, personal hygiene items, emergency food, and other individual needs as identified. And he also coordinates with community agencies and civic groups to meet the needs of homeless children and their families. I've got that address for y'all. If you would like to make a donation, you can stop by and make a cash donation, or you can also write a check, a money order. If you do write a check or a money order, go ahead and make it out to the Homeless Needy Children's Program. And if you're planning on dropping it off, that is at MTI 1614 East Fort King in Ocala, 34471, and that's located at Marion Technical Institute. Again, you can stop by, you can make that donation in person, or you can mail it, again, make that check to the Homeless Needy Children's Program, 1614 East Fort King in Ocala, and that's at Marion Technical Institute. Homepage is presented as a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM 95.5, 92.5, and 107.9. We welcome your comments. Please email me. Our email address is homepage@ncfmgroup.com. You can listen to Homepage by going to our websites, 937kcountry.com or windfm.com. I'm Kathy Dugan. Join us again next Sunday for Homepage.